So this video is going to be coming out a little bit later than expected because I'm recording this on the 27th, which is Sunday, and I didn't know that there was going to be an episode this week. I honestly thought that they were just going to go ahead and hold out on the episode until literally after New Year's. But I guess the Japanese really do never fucking sleep, and if they have a job to do, they're going to commit to doing that fucking job. Yeah, we got an episode for Boruto this week, which means that we're going to be able to have a Boruto episode review just before the new year. And, you know, for what it's worth, it is kind of cool, I guess, but I wish I would have checked ahead of time earlier in the day to check to see if they actually did release an episode, because then I wouldn't have to be, like, recording at, like, almost, like, 11 o'clock at night when people are sleeping, when I could have been doing something entirely different, which is basically my point, but whatever. We got the episode, and I guess there's a reason why I'm kind of dragging on with that point to begin with at the start of the video, is because there's not really a whole lot for me to really talk about, because it doesn't further the plot any further, but it goes into insight about a character who, admittedly, up until this point, we didn't even really know all that much about to begin with, and that's Mugino. This whole episode is about Mugino, from start to finish. There's actually a little, like, sort of side plot, but it's not really a side plot. It's just the thing that I cared about the most, because of regards to quite possibly my favorite character in this series, Hinata Hyuga, and the fact that it's regarding around her birthday. And actually today, when I'm recording this, is actually her birthday for the character. And yeah, if you didn't already know, yeah, she's pretty much like my favorite female character of the series. So for what it's worth, now you know. But basically the whole point of the episode was Boruto needed to go out and find a present for his mom, obviously because it's almost her birthday. And then the whole episode from there on after is Boruto meeting up with Mugino, and then Mugino starts explaining more of his backstory about how he had a troubled childhood, in the sense that he was essentially he was essentially taken. He was then trained to essentially being a disposable assassin. He had a curse mark on him and everything that can be activated at any time, and he was actually sent to go kill the third Hokage, and the third Hokage knew this, took out the people who were, you know, basically taking control over him, and essentially saved Mugino's life by giving him a better passage through life, and now he's currently where we are today. And this episode was actually kind of weird for Mugino, because the entire time when you see him, you're kind of like, he's kind of like this serious, stoic, like, badass character, but he actually has a couple of comedic moments in the episode where he essentially has Boruto pay his tab and pay for a meal for Mugino, and he uses the excuse of it was payday, and he used his payday money to give it all to this kid who had a sister who was sick. And by the end of the episode, we actually find out that that wasn't an excuse for him not having money. That was actually something he ended up doing anyways, just for the sake of doing it, because he believed the kid and what he was saying. And it was just the whole point of the episode was just basically to go into his character and more of his backstory. And to be honest, it almost kind of seems like they're about to kill him off. I don't know if that is what they're going to do, but, you know, whatever it may be, they're going to do something with him. But it was nice to see a little bit more character within Mugino rather than what we've already been seeing thus far from the show to begin with. But, you know, there's not really much a whole lot to talk about. Just that we get to see more about Mugino, that Mugino isn't some heartless fucking bastard, and he actually has more character to him than previously expected, and I guess I can sort of appreciate that more than I did before. It's actually kind of nice to see the third Hokage again, because the last time you see the third Hokage, like, semi-alive, was back in the War Arc, and even then he was reanimated with the reanimation jutsu, so it was really nice to actually see the third Hokage again, and of course the voice actor came back and reprised his role, and, you know, that was really nice. I really liked seeing the third Hokage. It kind of solidifies more why people really enjoyed the third Hokage, and why his death in the original Naruto showing meant a whole lot to people, because we grew to really appreciate this character and fundamentally what he was all about. Just caring for people, and it was really nice. That was basically it. Like I said, for what it's worth, I enjoyed the episode for what it was doing, and for seeing the third Hokage again, and for going deeper into Mugino's character, even if it seems like they're about to kill him off, but whatever have you, that's the episode. That's essentially the last Boruto episode of the year 2020, and we're going to be continuing on maybe next week after the new year has begun. So that's essentially it. That's the last Boruto episode of 2020, and next time you see a Boruto episode will be the first Boruto episode review of 2021. And I already made a video regarding, like, the year itself, just overall, not really anything revolving around anime, because it wasn't really that important or really in the video in context. But there was a lot that happened this year, but for what it's worth, we had a lot of really good media to see, and I think Boruto, as the year went on, I think ultimately started getting better. And I think that's something that I can really appreciate the most about this show, was that as it continued, it started to get better, and now we're in manga material, and now I think the year 2021 is really where Boruto is going to be able to shine the most. I wish this would have happened sooner, but for what it's worth, we're finally getting to it, and I really appreciate it because of that. So thank you for the staff who's been working on these episodes, even whilst during the pandemic. I know this hasn't been easy for anybody, but especially those of the animation staffs over in Japan making these shows, and the time crunch conditions that they're given and the limitations that they have. They worked really hard, and I really do appreciate them for continuing to make this show. Yeah, I think next year what I really want to do is I want to really start getting into reviewing a couple other shows that I want to talk about. One that I need to finish, one that I need to catch up on, and then a couple other stuff that I'm not really too sure on what I'm going to do yet, but we'll get to it when we get to it. That's basically it. That's the end of the video. If you enjoyed, leave a like. If you are new, subscribe for more videos just like this. I'll see you guys next one. Have a fantastic day. Have a happy new year. I'm out. Peace.